certain people as part of their spiritual team. Those spirits, they used to be alive like you and I. They used to have a body. They know
Kids
exactly
fucking
how it is
crazy,
to
bro.
be going through this earth, having like the problems that we have concerning survival, eating, paying the bills, matters of the heart, so on, so forth. They are spirits who can really relate to us, not only because they've been alive themselves, but also because they are our ancestors. Sometimes of blood, sometimes just because they are very close to the family line for some reason. So they are here for us, and they are our fiercest protectors. But as spirits, for some reason, don't ask me why, don't ask me how, but as spirits, when they get to the point of becoming entities, they take up a certain group, and they take up a certain, like the name of the group as a title for themselves instead of going by the name that they had when they were alive. Those spirits, they were alive like hundreds of years ago, sometimes even thousands of years ago. There are some spirits who are really old, like for example, Exu Caveira, Exu Skull, translating into English. That's a very, very old spirit. It's not some centuries ago. It's like ages ago, you see. In the case of Pombagira, sometimes it also dates back really long ago. And as a group or phalanx, we have Maria Padilha. Simply Maria Padilha. I believe this is like the oldest form or name or group of Pombagiras that we have. I'm not gonna get into the history of Maria Padilha, where it comes from. It was the Spanish queen crowned after her death. This story is really interesting, but I'm not gonna get into it today. I think I should make a video exclusively about Maria Padilha, but yeah, we're gonna focus on Maria Padilha of the souls. And like, of the souls, what does that mean? Where it comes from? Like, why it's not just Maria Padilha? Why there's this like thing in the end of the souls? I'm gonna tell you. So Maria Padilha is like a main group of spirits, and each main group have subdivisions or phalanxes, I guess. And within the group of Maria Padilha, there are many different subdivisions, one of them being of the souls. We have, for example, Maria Padilha da Encruzilhada, Maria Padilha do Cruzeiro, Maria Padilha da Estrada, Maria Padilha da Calunga, and many others. So this would be Maria Padilha of the Crossroads, Maria Padilha of the Cross, Maria Padilha of the Road, Maria Padilha of the graveyard, so on and so forth. There are many different subdivisions, including of the souls. When we have spirits that belong to that phalanx of the souls, they have some kind of contact with death, with passing away, and everything that it entails. Spirits of the dead humans, and it's very much tied to the cemetery grounds. So Maria Padilha in itself.
I was studying, but we got some tea.
You know, I just sliding out my mouth. I can't help that shit. All right, I'm finna get out, Drew. I'm finna get out. All right, I'm finna get out. Bye. Bye, y'all. Peace. Fuck you. Bludaapleds. All right, I'm finna get out, Drew. I'm finna get out. All right, I'm finna get out. Bye. Bye, y'all. Peace.
Why? Grown ass people. Why do another grown ass motherfucker gotta tell y'all to get off the goddamn internet? That shit just, I be so goddamn misunderstood. Like, I don't even know how to verbally respond to that type of energy. Like, in herself, let's say. Maria Padilhas, they are very much known for being elegant and refined women, like spirits of women. Very polite, like they are ladies, they are fancy ladies, okay? Even if they, of course, they have a funny side, they have like a messing around, trickster,
joker kind of thing, of course, because they are human beings, but they are very sophisticated still, and they don't associate themselves with people who are vulgar, with people with bad behaviors, bad reputation, or people who would perform bad deeds in her name. They are very picky about who they're going to be accompanying. In Brazilian spirituality, there's a whole kingdom of the souls. That's a whole thing in its own, and I'm not gonna get into that, at least not for today. So what's the deal with this spirit? What does she do? What is she like? Why? So, together with her counterpart, which is Exu Tranca-Rua das Almas, they're kind of partners, not necessarily lovers, okay, but they are partners. Exu Tranca-Rua das Almas, that could be translated as, it makes no sense. You guys, to me, you have no idea. It is really weird to be translating all of those names, but I try to, because I think it will not really make sense if I don't, and you will not understand what I'm saying if you don't get the names. So Tranca-Rua means street locker, road locker of the souls, das almas, of the souls. So Exu Tranca-Rua das Almas, Exu road locker of the souls. It makes literally no sense to translate this. We got food in the motherfucking refrigerator. So they, those two, Maria Padilha of the souls, Exu Tranca-Rua of the souls, they two together, they are responsible for aiding spirits of the deceased, aiding those souls to find their way in the afterlife. Because like the spirits, the entities, they are not out there just to serve us. They have their missions, they have their purpose, they have their things to do other than taking care of us and having a partnership with us as well. They have their goals and their things to do separately that have nothing to do with us. By the way, it can be a little bit confusing because I'm saying Exu. If you know a little bit about African orishas, the African deities, you probably have heard the name Exu before because there's an orisha called Exu. But in Brazilian spirituality, I can talk about that in another video, another time, but we have Exu, the orisha, and Exu, what we call Catiço, which is the ancestor. We have two different entities that go by the same name, but not exactly. One is an orisha and the other is an ancestor. I can talk a little bit more about that another time, but just so you're not confused with the term Exu. So Maria Padilha of the souls is also in charge of Eguns. Egun is the word that we use for spirit of the dead in Afro-Brazilian spirituality, and also for spirits that are known as obsessors or quiumbas, as we call them, which are the low vibration spirits that linger around and suck out energy out of the environment and out of us. They deal very well with those kinds of spirits, trying to get them to find the light and like move on and get them out of our house. But the spirits of the dead are not the only thing that Maria Padilha of the souls works with. Of course, that she also is known for dealing with love matters, like fixing you, and that's not like fixing you a boyfriend or a girlfriend kind of thing. It could be, but not necessarily. The point of love for Maria Padilha, first and foremost, is the self-love, is the love that you have for yourself, the love and respect that you have for yourself. She comes to remind you that you are yours before you are anybody else's. She teaches us lessons about self-respect, self-worth, and self-love like nobody else can. Maria Padilha is also amazing when it comes to opening roads and bringing prosperity and abundance and opportunity into the people that she protects. And another thing that is important to mention in this video is that no entity is necessarily tied to a religion. They find a way of manifesting themselves and being known and like help
helping people through a religion, but spirituality doesn't necessarily belong to religiosity. Religions are institutions with dogmas and rules to follow, whatever, but spirituality is something that you can also pursue on your own. And like I've mentioned, it's ancestors. You don't necessarily need to go to a temple to connect with your ancestor. You just need to fuck around and find out. That's the recipe for it.
It is.
And you're gonna find out much more than your ancestors, I can guarantee. But it's a fun ride. Scary sometimes, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, but fun. When it comes to Pombagira, the religions in which you can find this entity manifested through the mediums are Umbanda, which I do have a video on the channel. You can check it out in the cards up here and also in the description down below in case you haven't seen it, so you can understand what is Umbanda, how does it work, so on and so forth. And there's also Kimbanda, which only works with the spirits of the left hand path, which are precisely the spirits that I am mentioning in today's video. Exu, Pombagira, sometimes Malandro, they are in the left hand path. And Kimbanda works exclusively with those. Because like not everybody wants to be responsible for their own spirituality. Not everybody wants to fuck around and find out. So they can just go to a temple, talk to somebody else's Pombagira, and get their problems looked into. That's totally doable and that's fine. In those religions, as I have mentioned in my Umbanda video, there are possessions. The mediums who are initiated and trained for that for like years of practice, they receive the spirits of Pombagira and other lines of work as well. They receive those spirits, and with that possession process, the spirits are able to help the visitors. And when that happens, like the ceremony, possession, everything, the medium normally is dressed in a certain manner determined by the Pombagira herself. So in the case of Maria Padilla of the Souls, I'm taking a look at my notes here just so I don't forget anything, okay? She likes to wear dresses or skirts that are black, purple, or sometimes golden. So when it comes to the preferences of those spirits, you're gonna have to ask, always. You're gonna have to ask what each of them prefers. Now, with all of that being said, I'm gonna tackle a few different aspects right now. We are going to talk about offerings, where you can find her, can anyone venerate or work with this entity, is everyone accompanied by a Pombagira? So those are the things we are going to be discussing in the next parts of the video, okay? Let's talk offerings, shall we? So Maria Padilla of the Souls can ask for jewelry made of steel. She can also ask for hand fans, perfume, or jewelry in general. Sometimes some makeup articles such as lipstick. She can ask for crystals. Mine, for example, her altar is right there. She has some coins and a ring that I've given her. Once I've offered her a necklace at the crossroads as a thank you for something that she helped me with. And she was very happy about it, but I don't have it here with me because I left it at the crossroads. Yeah. As beverages, they usually like strong alcoholic drinks, like for example martini, cognac, dry wine, and champagne. But then again, you have to ask the entity what she prefers, because some like strong, sour, not sour, but like dry kind of drinks, and others they will prefer sweet drinks. So you have to ask each one of them, because they are individuals, you know, they have their personal likes and dislikes and preferences. So to make sure, you're gonna have to ask. But you can totally start with like wine and whatever. The candles that you light for this entity are usually red, and they also like cigarettes, or something that we call in Brazil cigarrilha, which is a type of cigar, but it's much thinner and smaller than a regular cigar. So yeah, they like tobacco, they do, and you can
must be like a black and mild.
When it comes to food offerings, as I always mention, it is very important to be mindful about time period. Okay, I've seen some people doing some very interesting things as offerings to ancestors when those people were like centuries ago and they've never seen a lollipop, you know? Try to think about what people were cooking 300 years ago and keep it simple. It doesn't have to be a banquet. It doesn't have to be anything super elaborate. Keep it simple, keep it easy, keep it like what people would actually be making centuries ago. So things that you can do, and it is going to be always preferable if you can to cook something with your own hands and like share that with the entity that you're venerating. If you don't have the time, that's fine. You don't have the time, but me, at least, I do my best to cook something for my team every week. Sometimes I can't. Sometimes I do things a little bit easier, but I really like to cook for them. Then I get the chair, I sit in front of the altar, and we share a meal. Yeah, that's what we do. So some things that you can make are cakes, okay, simple cakes, cakes that are easy and traditional and very old. Like there's, for example, a cake in Brazilian cuisine that is called bolo
so long, I forget what all I done did for them. But
de fubá.
I made my plate. I made them a plate.
Fubá is a flour made out of corn, so it's like a corn flour cake. It is very good. My grandma used to make it. My mom makes it. So it is something that we grow up with in Brazil. It is very traditional, so it makes a perfect food offering to those entities. Cakes in general, homemade bread.
Think about getting some coffee right now.
My flatmate just passed in front of my window.
I don't drink coffee I don't drink coffee.
So as I was saying, homemade bread.
Like that,
I have a blog here on the channel in which I do make bread to offer to my entities. Check it out. And
since this shit just came back up in my mind, I think it's a good idea for sure. Start coffee shop. Like a mouse. Round. Like a shoot your man up. Hey. Hey, good looking. It's me. Let's see my birthday. Bruh, I keep trying to watch it on the lockdown TV. Can't see nothing. It's not working. Right.
check it out in the cards and in the description down below, because that process of making bread was really fun.
I'll be watching her channel for. I pretty much know all this stuff, but I like to rewatch stuff.
That process of making
it's
bread
like
was
brainwashing me type shit. So that's what I'm getting out for.
So hello, on this channel we talk about independent spirituality. So hello, on this channel we talk about independent spirituality and folk. So hello, on this channel we talk about independent spirituality and folk magic for free spirits. My name is Esther, and in today's video we are going to take a look at something very important, which is like tips
for not
Well,
being afraid
ever
of
since I
spirits
started
anymore.
being in
If
the
you
dark.
are on this channel, chances are that you are a witchcraft
I think
practitioner
I was a
yourself.
teenager,
And
listening
for,
to
I would
Kendrick
say,
Lamar, Absol
90%
and
of
shit.
practitioners, spirit contact,
This
spirit
is
work,
why
spirit
I'm
connection
cutting
is a
my
big
fucking
part
hair.
of our
You see how this
practices.
shit
There
fucked
are
up?
practitioners who connect with
Like,
plant spirits or
I
who
love myself
conduct
too
things
much, and I
otherwise in a
like
way that
this,
they
bro.
don't have
Like,
contact
it's kind of
with
like energy,
spirits of
like,
the
I don't
dead,
want to be out and about.
ancestors,
Maybe,
deities,
what up,
and
Carl? What up?
other
What up? What
beings.
up?
Yes, that is possible.
Then I
That
walk away
exists,
and they see the
but
fucking bald spots.
most
Like,
of
no,
people,
gang.
most of us, they will be in contact with
No.
spirits through their practice. It is my case, but at the beginning I had my struggles, I had my difficulties because I was afraid of spirits. So today I am going to share with you what I did to overcome that, what has worked for me, because maybe it could work for you as well. Wait a minute. Before we start, let's take a minute to hear a word from today's sponsor, which is myself. Did you know that I have opened a store? Yeah, that's right. Over there you can find all my ebooks that contain some juicy bits of occult knowledge that I share, and you don't want to miss out on that. And also private readings that combine tarot and Norman cards, as you already know them, with some extra spice of Afro-Brazilian knowledge. But the best part is that the products on the store is start at only $3. Oh, and by the way, if you didn't know, I'm also on Patreon. And over there, I share extra exclusive content like spell tutorials, behind the scenes of my life, exclusive Patreon videos, unfiltered book reviews, weekly readings, and much, much more for only 1 cup of coffee per month. So if you like what I do on the internet and would like to support my work somehow, check out the links in the description to take a look at everything that I offer. Now, with that being said, let's get back to the video. So, I think that a very good question to ask ourselves from the get-go is why exactly we are afraid of spirits. Why does that make us afraid? Why? Well, several things that we do as human beings, as a society, they're actually taught to us. It's not stuff that comes with us inherently, but rather a product of culture, of habits, of collective consciousness, so on and so forth. But culture plays a big role on the things that we find beautiful, the things that we find scary, the things that we find acceptable or not. Culture is a major thing when it comes to that, and our modern culture teaches us to be afraid of the unknown in general. And it goes even beyond spirituality in itself. Anything that a person doesn't understand or doesn't know, well, they're afraid of it. And when it comes to spirituality, that becomes even more enhanced for people to be scared by stuff that they don't comprehend. And spirits, well, they are beyond the veil. They are things that we cannot touch, we cannot see per se. I mean, that can be practiced and unlocked, but at the base, let's say, we can't really grasp the concept of their existence. It's a little bit beyond our understanding, and it's like we occupy the same spaces but in different dimensions. I compare it a little bit with the upside down from Stranger Things. We are at the same place kind of, but on different sides of the veil, if that makes sense. The spirits, they are in the upside down, and we are here as a comparison, let's put it that way. And when you are alone and you feel a presence, you feel goosebumps, you feel that you're being watched, you feel that there's something in the room with you, or you hear something, or you sense something, because that's something you cannot see, you cannot, like, in the cognitive brain, you cannot understand what that is. Automatically you become afraid, and because because we are taught to be afraid of spirits, of the supernatural, and so on and so forth, that fear is very much enhanced. I mean, if we take a look at horror movies, they basically teach us to be scared of spirits. Spirits, they're just minding their business for the most part. Not all of them. There are some pranksters. There are obsessors, as we call them in Brazil, and low vibration spirits. So people who pass away and get lost and they don't really understand what's going on. A very interesting way of depicting spirits and their interactions with humans, living humans, is the movie The Others, if I'm not mistaken, with Nicole Kidman. That movie, if you haven't seen it, you gotta watch it. It is very interesting, and yeah, there are some scary parts and everything, but why? Because it's the unknown, it's the unseen, it's things that go beyond our understanding. So if you want to watch a little bit of a scary movie that doesn't bring a terrible and horrifying interpretation of what spiritual, like the spiritual side of things is, The Others is a very good one. Also The Crow, I love that movie, and it brings the spiritual in such an interesting way and kind of accurate. I might watch The Crow. I really like it. There's a little bit of accuracy to that movie. I really like it. So those are two movies that I recommend you watch if you want a little bit of a more positive depiction of spirits and spirituality in general. The Others and The Crow. But in general, horror movies, they are exaggerated and to a point that it becomes like Sinners. Nowadays, as a whole, I kind of avoid horror movies. I'm gonna tell you why, but when I watch them, for the most part,
I have to tell my story. Hold on, sister, cause goddamn. But like Sinners, I have to, every time I think about it, I gotta talk about it. It was a perfect movie up until the vampire shit. Like, the vampire shit made the movie, like, corny as fuck to me. But which is cool too. Like, cause I fuck with vampires, but I feel like the vampire shit fucked the movie up, bro. Like, the movie be so good until it get to the vampire shit.
But sometimes there are certain movies that really hit the mark, and they bring things in the story that could actually happen.
I guess because we don't have no black vampire movies that I feel that way. But then again, we don't have that many black voodoo movies either. So it's like, it was a perfect movie. You know what I'm saying? It just like, okay, even in Sinners, y'all seen the hoodoo shit. Nigga still died. He just died with his woman and with his baby. Like, you know what I'm saying? He had his mojo back. He still fucking died. Like, we're not, people be feeling like we're superhuman or da-da-da. No. It's like, you could be that. A lot of people do choose to be, like, superhuman, and they go on that path. A lot of people choose to, like, just live a regular life. Kids, wife or husband, just a regular life. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people decide to go on and do all the spiritual work they could possibly do. See, me, I know better, because I get into like I follow the occult college. I can't be off in that Naga and all that venom energy and the snake energy and the Slytherin. I can't get into all that energy. Just like I can't be in vampire energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I can't even be in vampire energy, it's so like I'm not gonna fuck with that shit either. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's always way easier to like just live a regular life. Like, motherfuckers are not forced to do spiritual work it's literally just easier. Life is easier when you do spiritual work. Like, I would rather not have designer clothes, not have weed or my favorite snacks or this, that, and the third, in order to build a business, in order to, you know what I'm saying? Nigga, going to a job where I gotta coexist with other motherfuckers, like that shit is set up for real. Cause it's like, bro, I don't have to be around your ass. I never would have met you if I would have when I came and applied for this fucking job. But now I gotta do, no. And me, I fucking love working, gang. But it's like, good and bad. I like the good of it. I like the bad. I'm a Gemini. I like the good that come with the shit. I like the bad that come with the shit. Like afterwards, when I look back on it, it's like, oh yeah, I did that. I went through that. It was straight. It was cool. It is what it is. Like I like everything that come with a job, but I prefer to get this business intact like it really need to be. Like I got a couple business licenses I want though. Just 3 of them, and I'm not gonna talk about them. Really just want an LLC though when it comes to the tarot reading. Like I'm cute as shit. It's like I be thinking about shit. Isn't a person like be in the energy of self-love enough to like not worry about my appearance enough and just let me love them? Like it'd be a lot of stipulations going to like the way I think. Like you could literally go out here. I ain't gonna say what I was gonna say. Cause it's like saved by the kids. What y'all doing?
I want to show you something why I can do with that little piano right there.
Why?
But I didn't want to sleep night. No. Because.
Show me later.
Yes, you did it right.
Let me see.
No. Supposed to be yellow. Yes. You did it right. First time. So green 3 times.
I've seen it.
Yeah, they kind of hear the beats.
I hear it.
How I did it was different.
But I'm on live. Can you see I'm on live?
Oh, no.
Like, that's a sign. I'm gonna get a keyboard. That's gonna be my next project. Like, it's like I want to work on music so bad, but I want my tarot reading business more. It's fucked up. It's really fucked up though. On account of like I grew up wanting to do nothing but music. Like I learned how to rap, sing, play instruments, make beats, record myself, record other motherfuckers, and now all I want to do is do tarot reading and then be a life coach one
That's
day.
the case, for
It's
example,
fucking
with
insane. What is my
Smile.
life?
I've seen Smile too, and that thing that happens to that singer girl.
That shit is fucking insane when I think about it.
Yeah,
Like,
spiritually speaking, that's accurate. Because spirits, they mess up with your mind. That's where they grab you. They give you hallucinations. So yeah, that movie hit me hard because that could happen. And yeah, so it is kind of important to avoid any kind of
Should change the
artistic
shit to Blood Apples Diary on my soul.
that could cause
I thought about that
you to
before
be
though.
afraid, okay? If you find horror movies funny, like I do for the most part, it's not gonna harm your practice, but you need to distance yourself from anything that portrays spirits and spirituality as something negative
Bloody's
and scary.
Diary.
So we're gonna start
I
there.
think of a
The
new
horror
name every
movies,
month,
they
y'all. Just
kinda
like
indoctrinate us
I
to be
just was
scared of
thinking about
spirits. Like this is an absolute truth that spirits are evil and they
Bloody
are out there to
Entertainer.
get you. Not necessarily.
Entertaining
Of course,
as
that
Bloody.
not everything
message
shit
beyond the
out,
veil is love and light
Some
and
for
wants
Facebook,
your
you
best
feel me?
interests, and has your best interest at heart. I've really messed up that phrase, but anyway, yeah, there are some nasty things in the spiritual realm, and you don't want to go near them. But I mean, I've been practicing for years, and I've never had major issues. You know, I've made some mistakes, but anyway, you're not gonna attract some kind of demon, all right? If that's your concern, things are going to be fine, all right? Those types of entities, they need specific rituals, and they're just out there minding their business. They're not gonna be bothered by your existence and you lighting a candle in your room, okay? So
right, like I be
question
so
that I
rough.
think is an
It's
interesting
like
one to ask
I also
ourselves
be
when it
wanting
comes to
people to
spiritual work
understand.
is why
She touching
choose.
on so much stuff that I gotta comment on. I also would love people to understand, like, your ancestors already be doing work for you, even if you know it or not. So, like, to light a candle and think something gonna attack you, it just be the fear of your own mind. Like, you could go into any type of ancestral work or candle magic and just talk to your ancestors and let them know. Like, just don't spook me. I've been saying this shit since I said this shit this year. So I've been saying this shit since before I started. Like, even when I used to work with Jesus, I used to be like, look, I don't mind all the little crazy, little extra supernatural shit. Just don't spook me. They gotta respect that, man. First ancestor I seen was a zombie of my uncle. Then I seen two other my uncles as a zombie. Crazy. One of my uncles, I predicted his death, but I can't remember how. I predicted 4 uncles' death. I did. People told me, nah, just pop out. Just pop out with you. Man, fuck that. You go exercise and you wait and pop out with muscles, bitch. You gonna tell me how to goddamn
engage with spirits, why to work with
I'm
spirits,
pop out,
why to
right?
go through that path. Well, if you are here
When
in
I
this
get
video,
muscles,
chances are
and
that you are
6 months after
interested in
that,
that
after
path,
I
and
still
maybe you struggle
exercise,
to have a
yeah.
little bit more confidence
The
and
point
less
is to
fear.
be toned anyway.
So
It's not to be all
why to
broken and shit.
engage with
That's not
spiritual work?
cute.
Well, we are spirits as well, going through a
I
human
wanna like me so.
experience. And as incarnated humans, we still
Hey, stop
have
playing,
spiritual
child.
power, of course, but we have a body and we are tied to the material realm during our lifetime. The spirits who are beyond the veil, they don't have that limitation, which means that they can go around, they can do things that we cannot for the moment because we have a physical body. The spirits, like local spirits, they know
And I say that because I feel like my life would be easier. It's like,
they know what
bro,
that
why the
herb
fuck
can do.
Jesus
They
can
know how
possess
you
people,
can use it.
but
They know
another spirit
spells. They
can't?
know
Why
little things.
y'all
They
can
know
praise
recipes,
Jesus,
and
but
they
I
can
can't praise
teach you
another
all of
spirit
that
or
and
fuck
much
with
more.
another
While
like,
you are on
like,
this side of the veil,
my
you
nigga
can
Jesus
help
ain't
them
mad at me
with
fucking with
offerings,
other entities.
energy,
Why
and
y'all
other
mad? Why y'all
things.
mad?
Them, on the other side of the veil, they can help you as well, getting information for you, influencing
This shit
other
just be
people's
like
minds,
mindset.
and many
Well,
other things.
not just
So it is a very
mindsets, but like
beneficial exchange between
our
the
job is to
living
be
and the
patient
dead.
with
You can
them
learn a
till they
lot from
realize it. But what if
spirits,
they never
and
realize it,
it
bro?
is a fascinating experience in my opinion. By the way,
See, a lot
the
of us,
gateway
we don't
to
even
get to
worry
spirits
about
is
like
meditation.
where motherfuckers going when they leave here. That's what Christians obsess about. We don't give a fuck. Like me as a spiritualist, I only give a fuck about where I'm going when I leave here. Maybe my kids, maybe my wife, but I can't give a fuck about what, you know what I'm saying? It's just, and only because I don't know. Like, how could I? That's like saying, ain't like saying I wanna know. It's just perception, bro. It's just too much, bro. It's like telling somebody how believing in God works. No, you can't tell them shit. They either have to experience it, or you're just gonna be like preaching to the choir. Like it's no point. Like it's no point. Like it's like me trying to tell somebody how it feels to be gay. It's no point. Either they have to experience it, or it's just like it's no point. That's how I feel about that. Like people worrying about like where other people going when they die. Like why does it matter? Like it's not your experience. Wow. It's like, but that's also for people that feel like this life follows them. No. No. That's for people that feel like this life follows them when they die. That's why they worry about who else. I don't think I'm gonna like just like my first wife. We used to talk about meeting up when we passed. This is my ninth life, gang. That's it for me. I'm not coming back here. So I can't speak for my kids, but I'm pretty no, I can't speak for my wife because I don't have one. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you feel me? But this another thing. If I do, once I do get my wife, like I got little different plans and shit. You feel me? Like we may decide to stay here forever. If we could make it beautiful here, we may decide to stay here forever, gang. Me and my wife, and my soul. That's a little tidbit. And if we don't, we probably gonna go. That's why I'm saying like this is my last life. Like a lot of people out here in the world don't sit up and think about shit like this because they're ignorant, first of all, and they're not spiritual, second of all. But it's like this is my ninth life. I can decide to come back, well, to stay, but I can't come back here. It's over with. I'm on my ninth. You know, a lot of people probably was watching me and like, what the fuck is she talking about? This her last life. This her ninth life. It's exactly what I said. It's just find out what your life path number is. If you a 9 life path number, it's probably your last woo-ha here. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of aggravating too, because it's like, it's fucked up. Like this realm, it's like, you hot shit, you a target, bro. The hot commodity shit is not okay. Like,
If you're wondering, and I do have a video about meditation for witches here on the channel. I'm gonna link it up in the cards and down in the description in case you haven't seen it already. So working with spirits is not only useful, but it is also something very interesting as an experience. Personally, I love to do it, and this is why I think spirit work has a lot to offer and a lot to add to a person's practice. But when you are afraid of spirits,
push it. I'm gonna keep pushing it. I don't want. I don't want to see no negative shit. Shitty crowd, witchcraft.
So hello, on this channel we talk about independent spirituality and so hello, on this channel we talk about independent spirituality and full magic for free spirits. My name is Esther, and in today's video we are going to talk about witching in the city. And like, I have thought about this topic a long time ago. I wrote this down in Trello in September 2022. It was almost 3 years ago, and only now,
all the real black mamas, y'all know.
So I was very much thinking talking
Y'all
about
know
this
what the
theme
fuck
back
it
in
is.
2022 because back then I was living in Paris.
Man, you got a brown
it is
paper
like
bag?
one of the biggest cities.
I mean, not a
in the
brown
world.
paper bag. You
Today,
got a
I live
Ziploc
in the
bag?
suburbs, which takes me a little bit closer to
I
things
get
like nature and silence. But I did get to practice within a busy city, and I have a few things that I would like to share with you that could make your practice a little bit more, I don't know, complete if you are living like an urban environment. And like, why would that be a thing? Because spiritual practices, witchcraft practice, they are very much connected with nature, right? With the woods, the forest, land spirits. I mean, of course, it depends on your path and your spiritual.
Go back.
Me a little bit closer to things like nature and silence, but I did get practice within a busy city, and I have a few things that I would like to share with you that could make your practice a little bit more, you know, complete if you are living like an urban environment. And like, why would that be a thing? Because spiritual practices, witchcraft practice, they are very much connected with nature, right?
Nova, come
in
here.
The forest, land spirits. I mean, of
you're
course,
making
it depends on your path and your spiritual choices, but the contact with nature can be a big part of it. It doesn't really matter that much your path of choice. Connecting with nature is something that you might miss it sometimes. Me, at least, I remember that I missed it when I was in Paris, and yeah, so I'm gonna share some tips with you, and I hope that they will be helpful. Of course, that you will need to get local, right? You will need to walk around a little bit and see what's available to you. You can use Google Maps for that to discover places. So I am going to suggest local shops. Why local shops? Because at those shops you can find dried ingredients. Not everything, but many things. Maybe you live in an apartment and it's not really possible for you to grow your own herbs and plants, so you will need to get them dried. There's no problem with that, absolutely no problem. And I remember I've made a video at the very beginning of my channel. It was, what was that called? It was something like essential tools at the supermarket, something like that. I recommend you watch that video because I have some tips on that video too. That video is I'm so awkward. My hair was super short. My god, how time passes. It's fascinating. And hair grows. Never be scared to cut yours. But anyway, I digress. Local shops, they are going to be fundamental for you to acquire certain tools and certain ingredients. For example, herbs. So take a look at the local supermarket, what's available there. Over here, I find many interesting items at my local grocery store when it comes to dried herbs and also some other ingredients. So yeah, take a look around. Also, like for example, there's an African market or a Chinese market nearby somewhere. You are going to find interesting ingredients because like me, for example, I use a lot of corn flour and maniac flour. God damn! I missed the video again. Sell those things, but I can find them at African markets, and so that's very useful. Another thing that is going to make a lot of difference for you when you need to feel grounded, you need to feel connected with some nature of some sort, are the local parks. Paris has some amazing parks, like for example,
y'all be surprised about some shit that y'all find at the park that y'all didn't know was at the park because y'all don't fucking read.
They're going to make a lot of difference, and there's like also the small parks that aren't really known or anything.
You'll be surprised. You'll start loving the fuck out your city if you just start reading.
Touch some leaves, touch some grass, walk barefoot a little bit, sit down
Like
take a
people
look
that
at the
don't fuck
plants
with Mobile,
that
but
are
from
around the
Mobile,
trees
I
that
be
you
like,
have there. They can become
you
plant
been in the hood
allies,
too
and you
long,
can
gang.
connect with those
How the fuck you don't,
spirits.
you
But
don't
you need
like?
to know
We
what's
got
available
beaches,
to you.
bitch.
Every
What
time I move somewhere, I discover
How
new
you don't
plants.
like
The
my
place
bro?
where I
Go.
was
We don't
living
need you
before,
sucking up our
which was
pressure.
also the suburbs, I found I
With your
had
big nigga
nightshade, I had
nostrils.
yew, I had what else? Lots of pine. So take a look around at what's
Look,
available to you. There was
with your big old
chamomile,
nigga
also
nostrils,
wild
like
chamomile.
Uncle
Over
Rucky say.
here, where I'm living now, I
Mobile
found
lit, bitch.
honeysuckle, a lot of stinging nettle, a lot of it. Dandelion. Dandelion is very common in this area. And when I was living in Paris, each park had different plants. So things like juniper, certain
It's my
flowers,
pet.
certain
Yeah,
trees.
my dog.
So take a look around and see what are the plants and trees available at your local parks. Just remember
Alright,
to
y'all
not
be
treat
blowed
those
if I
plants
pop out
and
with
trees
y'all that.
as
Talk about
mere
you. I
ingredients.
ain't
Remember
talking
that
about
they
you.
are living
I
things
pop
and
out
there's
with y'all all the
spirits in
time.
there. Try to connect with those spirits and feel
They
them.
already
Another
like to
thing
call
that,
me
of
crazy.
course, I
Might well let them
couldn't avoid mentioning are the local
know that I'm
cemeteries.
crazy.
They are going to be a big part of your
We so
practice,
sick of
maybe,
they
if you
call me
want to work
crazy,
with
bro.
spirits of the dead and if you want to connect with the local on a deeper level, because I
Should I just
find
start
that
smacking
cemeteries,
motherfuckers
they
that call me
carry
crazy?
so much history. You can get to know many interesting facts about your town, your
Like
city,
Pootie
by
Tang.
visiting the cemeteries. You get to know the history of the place through the history of the people in there, like buried in the cemetery. So yeah,
Yeah.
you get to visit your local cemetery. It sounds a little bit redundant and a little bit obvious, but sometimes the obvious needs to be said. Maybe
feel
it
like
didn't occur to you that the local cemetery would be a great liminal space for you to.
you got something to say. I feel like if you a witch or a spiritualist and that's a part of your path, I feel like you gonna end up at the cemetery regardless, or the graveyard regardless. Like, cause a lot of people believe that before you go there, you have to give an offering to bury something. Now I feel it since I know that knowledge. I feel it every time I go, but I don't feel a big major backlash from burying somebody if I don't bring an offering. I just give respect like when I do go and I don't have an offering. But I do think I gave an offering I think one time. And yeah. But I don't know, you just gotta be careful working with burying because
I think he's sleepy. Because he woke.
that's how it go be with her brother. He ain't got nobody but me and you. Give me a break. Shit. But that's what I was going.
Visit regularly and maybe adopt a grave. If you don't know how to adopt a grave, I do have a video on my Patreon page where I share my own way of doing it if you want to check it out. Another place that can be interesting for you are flower shops, because maybe you cannot get a certain flower that you need for an offering, or I don't know. You can take a look at the local
I
flower
didn't know
shop
you could
and see
adopt a
what's
grave.
available, what they have, what you could maybe ask them to get for you. Sometimes they can get certain certain plants that maybe you're not finding anywhere. So the local flower shop can also become an ally in your personal practice. I'm gonna give you a tiny list of some apps that can be useful. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Here's the list.
Ready.
To gather information of my practice, there are some organization apps slash websites that I have used over the years, and that you can try things out with them, and just take a look. There's OneNote that you can use. There's Trello, and there's Notion. I have, by the way, my digital grimoire on Notion. It's my favorite, and I do have the template for my Notion grimoire on my website. All links to everything are going to be down in the description. Okay. I use my grimoire on Notion almost every day. It is very practical because you don't have to carry anything with you. You already have your phone with you anyway, so if you need, you can just jot something down.
I just got a lot of questions. Does it make sense? I'm not confused about shit, but I got a lot of questions.
On the go, it is, of course, there are certain things that I write down and I add to my physical grimoire, but on your phone is very practical. So you can take a look and see what app will work best for you. OneNote, Trello, or Notion. I do recommend you to have a digital version of your grimoire because it doesn't matter where you are going to have the important notes with you. And if something comes up, if you find something and you want to write it down, you will be able to do that also. The local library can also be another important place for you to visit regularly because by visiting your local library, you will have access to books that talk about your area, that talk about your city, the history, the things that have been going on there, where the city is coming from, what's the past of the city. And you can discover things like particular plants that are native to that area, or maybe, I don't know, gems and crystals and other types of things like that can be found particularly in that area. Maybe there's a beach, and then at that beach or in a lake or in a river, there's a certain combination of minerals that you cannot find anywhere else and that you can use in a special way in your practice because it's something unique from your area. You see, it is very important to get creative and get out of the house to investigate what's available to you. And the cities, they also have many interesting things available if you take the time to look around. Of course, sorry for the noise, my flatmates are doing the laundry. It's amazing how they always go do something while I'm filming. It's like clockwork. But as I was saying, one of the things that the city has the most are crossroads. And crossroads are one of the most, it's a timeless liminal space. I usually say that a crossroads is like an apartment building where you can visit many different people. You just need to know what's the number of their apartment, and then you go there and you ring the bell to talk to them. Crossroads are everywhere in the city. You just need to, take a look around and see which ones.
Bro, I just found out last night.
And make.
Now, granted, like concrete. Anyway, nigga, last night I just realized watching one of her videos. The crossroad is where the roads cross. Like they, not like a four-way. I could be wrong. I've always thought it was a four-way, but no, I think it's like literally where the roads cross, or like they split. I feel like it's where the roads split. Them is crossroads, like a wishbone, right? Because even if you think about the trickster energy, tricksters, okay, if you come to a crossroad, it's like, which way do you go? Do you go that way? It could be a trick. Do you go that way? It could be, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you making the right decision, but you meet the trickster energies at the crossroad, gang. So that's why I had to put two and two together, like, okay. Because that's not, So also the crossroads about decision making, or like making a sound decision. It ain't gotta be the right one, but it could, you know what I'm saying? I mean, contradictions, yeah. Alright, what is Nova watching?
Than your own
Nope.
in a way. So knock yourself out, explore the crossroads as a liminal space. You're not gonna regret it, but wear your protections, and
I'ma
have
be
the
the
number of the
mama.
apartment that you want to reach out to.
I just wanna
Okay?
be
Just
the
like an apartment
mama.
building, you cannot walk up to the door and try to communicate with somebody who lives in there if you don't know who you want to talk to. It's the same thing at the crossroads. You want to talk to your spirit, you want to reach out to somebody at the crossroads, you gotta know who. You gotta have a name, alright? And another thing that can be extremely useful to you, doesn't matter where you are, if it's a small town or big one or big city, is the local tourism office. Because they will have a lot of detailed information about the history, about monuments, about things that happened in that place that you have no idea about. I love the tourism office. It's one of your best friends to getting to know the land where you are standing. Even if you were born and raised in your city, there can be many things that you don't know about. Simple as that. And the tourism office, they will have all the information.
Alright, I'm gonna wait to delete that out. I'm gonna wait to delete that.
Little things that you can explore later. I remember that when I was living in the other town before coming here, I went to the tourism office and they gave me so many booklets. There was even a guide to the local trees of the area. It was amazing. So you gotta take a visit, you gotta pay a visit to your local tourism office. Do you have any other tips and tricks for practicing in the city and like not feeling that
she owns
on anything because you're not in the middle of the forest or something? If you have any other tips that you use in your own practice, please share them in the comments so other people can learn a little bit more. If you think that I may have missed something, don't hesitate to share some extra bits of information in the comments for other people to gain some knowledge, okay? And remember, practice makes perfect, even more so in the city. So let's get rich in it. Thank you for watching, and I'm gonna see you in the next one.
Stop touching it. Stop turning it. These kids, these computer kids, they was born with freaking ADHD. They feel like it be so much going on, they gotta touch it.
So hello, on this channel we talk about independent spirituality and folk magic for spirits. My name is Esther, and in today's video I am answering another request from a subscriber. I believe that it was on the last post for a Q&A that I have published on the community tab. Somebody asked me to talk about my grimoire, to show my grimoire setup and everything, and I told them, yeah, this deserves an entire video only dedicated.
It's crazy because like you're literally tell somebody about your spirituality, and then like what if you dating somebody outside your race and they have a totally different person that, you know what I'm saying? And it's like,
so hello. On this channel we talk about independent spirituality and folk magic for free spirits.
Like, god damn. And it's fucked up even more because like you can't tell them shit. They have to figure this out.
On this channel, we talk about independent spirituality and folk magic for free spirits. My name is Esther, and in today's video, I have the honor of telling you a little bit about Pombagira.
I'm sick of it. Fucking sick of it. I'm sick of it.
Hey guys, it's that.
Oh, no, you know, peace and harmony. I need some food in my life. You know, my birthday coming up. Well, hand cycle was
We talk about independent spirituality and folk magic. So hello, on this
See, she be keeping shit safe. I fuck with that though. Cause
On this
it's
channel.
the best way to be on YouTube. Like keep shit safe. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hi everyone, it's me. Depends on which is the sun for me one.
damn, she got
So
a lot of
hello,
videos.
on this channel we talk about independent.
That motherfucker is a YouTuber. I was wondering how she probably like.
So
got
hello, on this
fooled.
channel we talk about independent spirituality and folk magic for free spirits. My name is
I
Esther.
gotta
I
look
am
at this big tipping YouTube thing that I don't do.
So today I have here a tea with lemon, ginger, and honey because as you can hear, I have no voice. I've got the flu.
Hey, you sound bad.
This is going to be a fun video. So hello, my name is Esther, and on this channel, with usually a better voice, we talk about independent spirituality and folk magic for free spirits. My God, my voice is terrible, but we keep going. The other day, like some time ago, I've made, my God, I'm so sorry for my voice. I really tried to wait until my voice would be better, but I can't. I had.
The yo ass sound like you crying. Hold up.
So hello, on this.
Why she say Gemini?
So hello, on this channel we talk about independent spirituality and folk magic for free spirits. My name is Esther, and in today's video we are going to discuss the question, or like the title of the video, if you should be like 100% open about being a witchcraft practitioner everywhere that you go with everybody. Should you do that? Why or why not? That's the discussion of today, so I invite you to grab a beverage and get ready to share your own thoughts in the comments down below, because I do want this discussion to get like heated. Once again, I do apologize for the lighting. Using artificial lighting is not my favorite, but once again, I was very busy during the day and I couldn't film earlier, but better late than never. Isn't that so? Let's get into it. Wait a minute. Before we start, let's take a minute to hear a word from today's sponsor, which is myself. Did you know that I have opened a store? Yeah, that's right. Over there you can find all my ebooks that contain some juicy bits of occult knowledge that I share, and you don't want to miss out on that. And also private readings that combine tarot and Norman cards, as you already know them, with some extra spice of Afro-Brazilian knowledge. But the best part is that the products on the store start at only $3. Oh, and by the way, if you didn't know, I'm also on Patreon. And over there, I share extra exclusive content like spell tutorials, behind the scenes of my life, exclusive Patreon videos, unfiltered book reviews, weekly readings, and much more for only 1 cup of coffee per month. So if you like what I do on the internet and would like to support my work somehow, check out the links in the description to take a look at everything that I offer. Now, with that being said, let's get back to the video. I have had some things happening in my personal life in recent times that really got me thinking about this topic, and they were like the motivation for me to think about putting up a video talking about it. I'm not gonna go deep into detail about what happened, but I had some awkward, some a little bit disappointing experiences with people that are still present in my life, so I'm not gonna disclose everything, but it did make me believe that this topic needs to be brought up to discussion. So I am publicly a witchcraft practitioner, folk magic based more specifically, and especially in Brazilian folk magic
the things that I learned with my foremothers and with my culture of origin. I decided to join social media in 2022. Whoa, it's been 2 years already. Time does fly, my god. On the internet, it is very easy for me to be open about my practice because I am most of the time talking to people who don't know me on a personal level, people who are all over the world, people who, like most of you, will probably never see me in person, and I feel very safe. It is weird and interesting, right, that I feel safe to talk about something that holds such a big place in my life with strangers rather than with people who know me and people who are in contact with me regularly. That's funny, isn't it? Well, most people in my family don't know that I have this YouTube channel. As a matter of fact, the only person who knows about it, actually two, is one of my nieces, but she doesn't speak English, so I'm not really sure how much she understands of what I'm doing. I'm not sure if she actually knows that I have a YouTube channel because she follows me on Instagram, so she gets to see a few things that I post. She does know that I work with Pomba Gira and everything, but I'm not sure. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not sure if she's aware that I have a YouTube channel about all of this. But the only person who knows for sure that I have a YouTube channel talking about all of this is my mother, and she's of course very supportive of my content. Sometimes she leaves comments on my YouTube videos even though she does not speak English either. And many of the things that I know today I learned by observing her. She never really had the intention of passing down knowledge to me. It just happened naturally because I would see her doing little things. Other people in my family, they don't know. Like some of my sisters, they know that I read tarot cards, and that's about it. They don't know much more about it. I've never mentioned to them that I call myself a witch out there because they are Christians. I would say that 99% of my family is composed by Christians, like Protestants, which in Brazil are the most extreme type. They are very conservative, and I think it's such a pity. It's so much wasted spiritual potential in my family. But well, it kind of skipped a generation. Like my grandparents, they were very spiritual. Then the generation of my mother and father and uncles and aunts, it got a little bit mixed because some people they started with folk-based practices and then they migrated into Christianism, especially being Protestant. And then my generation, sisters, siblings, let's say, cousins, they are Christians. So I think me and my mother, we are basically the only people in the entire family from both sides, my mother and my father's side, we are the only ones that are into this type of spirituality, and that's kind of surprising if I think about it. Of all of those people who, like, with whom I share blood, none of them have a similar type of spirituality, and if they would know what I'm doing, I'm pretty sure that they would turn their backs on me, most of them. So I preferred to keep my internet project to myself, pretty much.
So you saying in Brazil they Jesus watch too?
Very few of them are on my Instagram account. I have allowed this to very few people.
Just pick them up and play with them, baby.
If someday I go back there, I don't want to be received with pitchforks and torches, you know? And Christianism is everywhere, and it really boggles me that Christianism is the only religion that, no, it's not the only, but because it is very present in my culture of origin, it is the only religion that I see actively trying to tell